Hi, my name is Bill Nelson, and I am the Grand Canyon Council Advancement Chair. And this will be a short presentation on advancement in camp. We're going to describe the role of advancement as a method of scouting and how it's achieved in camp. We're going to tell how the camp achieves a balance of advancement with other camp programs. We're going to describe the role and importance of a well-run first-class emphasis program in camp. And we're going to state the importance of maintaining advancement standards and records. So let's get started. So as a review, advancement is one of the 8 methods of scouting. And the question comes up is, why is advancement one of the 8 methods of scouting? Well, the answer is because it recognizes a scout for making and achieving a goal. It allows an adult role model to say, "Well done, we're proud of you." As the scout stands before his peers, when he has done something positive, we praise him. In turn, he builds his self-confidence by meeting these measured challenges. Let's go through the 4 steps to scout advancement. A scout learns something. It could be a skill. It could be some kind of knowledge. The scout can learn that on their own, or someone can help facilitate it. Once they learn something, and the scout feels that they are ready to be tested, then someone who is authorized tests the scout. Once they are tested and pass, they have completed that requirement. We call that being signed off. The second step, the scout is tested, is extremely important, and it must be done accurately, because once a scout is tested, there's no turning back. What's done is done. So again, a scout learns a skill. He says that he or she is ready to be tested, and then they are tested. Once they are tested and pass by someone authorized to test them, then they are signed off. What's done is done. So do step number 2 very, very carefully. And don't sign someone off unless you personally know that that scout has done what the requirement says. No more, no less. They have to do what the requirement says. The third step is that a scout is reviewed. All that means is that somebody, it's normally done at a board of review, checks to make sure that step 1 was done and step 2 was done correctly. Once that review is done, that's all that review is to make sure that step 1 was done and step 2 was done correctly. And then the scout is recognized. In the Boy Scouts of America, we normally give a scout a badge to recognize them as achieving a rank or a merit badge or something like that. Let's talk about how a Cub Scout advances versus how a Boy Scout advances. For Cub Scout advancement, the criteria is that they do their best. That's all they have to do. They do their best, and then their advancement is approved. Normally, it's approved by leaders or parents. The current program has the parents indicate that the scout has completed something, and then the leaders come in and approve the advancements. So that's the way Cub Scouts advance. Now, what's the difference with the Boy Scout? Well, with the Boy Scout advancement, it's not do their best. For merit badges, they have to do what the requirement says. So if you have somebody in front of you for a merit badge, they must do what the requirement says. No more, no less. It doesn't matter if they're handicapped or not. You give them an incomplete, in other words, you don't sign them off on a requirement if they cannot do that requirement. There are some things we could do at the council level to substitute merit badges. But if they're in front of you to get a merit badge done, they have to do what it says in the requirement. No more, no less. They have to do that. On the rank side, we at the council can work with the Scoutmaster and create a program for handicapped folks that will replace requirements. But by and large, the rule is for people in the Scout program, they have to do what the requirements say. No more, no less. We emphasize that the Scouts need to get to first class within 12 to 18 months. Let's talk about why. They are more likely to stay in the program an average of 18 months longer. They will adopt the ideals of the program and use them throughout their life. They will reflect back on their scouting career as a positive experience. And as an adult, they are significantly more likely to become an involved citizen, including a Scout leader. Remember I used the standard no more, no less? Well, what does that mean? In order to achieve a national consistency and to be recognized for instilling skills and values, the BSA has set specific standards a Scout must meet. We call those requirements. Leaders and counselors can teach more than the requirements stated, but when it comes to testing and reviewing, the Scout must meet the requirements as stated. No more, no less. And leaders are expected to adhere to this standard. No one is authorized to change the requirements. The only exception is when a Scout has a medically recognized disability certified by a physician and the Council Advancement Committee has given the specific Scout on an alternative standard to achieve. And again, we cannot change the requirements inside of a merit badge. We can, at the council level, substitute one badge for another, but we cannot change the requirements inside the badge. So if he's in front of you for a badge, he needs to do what the badge says. No more, no less. Did you ever wonder why we have merit badges in scouting? Well, there are a number of important reasons. One, it allows a scout the opportunity to explore a variety of vocational and avocational fields to some depth. Merit badge counseling is career counseling and mentoring by an expert adult in a given field. Earning a merit badge forces a scout to reach out, to network, to meet other people's expectations, and expand themselves. It parallels adult real-life expectation. Did you know that 6 of 10 scouts who earn merit badges will find a vocational or avocational interest that will last a lifetime? Merit badge advancement gives a scout an opportunity to relate to adults other than their parent or scout leaders. It is important to understand these reasons because they become the basis by which a camp selects and explains the merit badges it teaches. Often, camp leaders are asked to offer additional merit badges beyond those suited best to an outdoor setting. Merit badges required for the Eagle Scout rank are the most requested, such as Citizenship in the World and other related badges. Camp directors and program directors need to realize many members of the camp staff aren't expert enough or mature enough to instruct an even broader range of subjects. Merit badge selection should consider the interest of scouts, resources of your camp and the outdoor setting, the abilities of your camp staff members. Camp leaders must also realize that many of the required merit badges take more time to complete than is available at camp. Camps and camp managers must also work to keep standards high and ensure that all requirements are met before a merit badge application is approved. It is important to offer more than just merit badges at camp. Realize that 60% of the scouts are first-time campers, and you want to make sure that their experience at camp is more than just earning merit badges. They should have a full range of activities and to want to come back year after year to camp. Advancement's important, but there should be more to camp for a boy than just earning merit badges. There are lots of lessons of life that can be learned at camp. Not all of them result in advancement. You can convince leaders by offering so many other exciting programs that scouts will participate in. That way, they make their own choices. Scouts won't just choose advancement because it's the only thing to do. Strive to achieve a balance between fun programs and advancement. Remember that the camp and its staff are in support of the troops' needs. Camp and program managers and staff members don't take over the troop. For rank advancement to first class, a scout can either learn in his troop site or attend a session sponsored by the camp. But it is up to the troop leadership to test, review, and pass a scout trying to meet the standard. Well, I'm about to wrap this up, so let me give you just some final parting words. First off, be very careful when signing off. Make sure when you sign a requirement off that you know personally that the scout has done what the requirement says. No more, no less. We have your back. I would rather have you not sign a requirement off than to sign a requirement off that the scout did not do. Feel free to email me any questions that you might have. My email address is gccadvancement1@gmail.com. We hope you have a great and wonderful camp season this year, and be great out there and have a wonderful scouting experience.